Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audio Files. We are continuing our ABC challenge. Tonight we are on the letter P. Wow, we are doing Pleasures of the Night by Sylvia Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize now for me sounding like I'm dying. It's because I'm dying. My daughter brought home another lovely virus from daycare, so I'm currently beginning that. This is the book I bought you for your birthday at Barnes & Noble,
Yes,
isn't it? Okay, that's what I thought.
it is.
I remember the cover.
It's really pretty.
It is very pretty. So yeah,
And
it's
it
like
was purple.
oh, that and the main character's name is Alyssa.
Which I didn't realize that because, I don't read the blurb when I read books.
Yeah,
So
we
I
like
just saw it was
opened it and it was a
purple.
nice surprise.
Well, I saw it was purple. It said Pleasures of the Night. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be spicy. And so I was like, I want this.
It's probably because it says pleasures of the night, and then directly under that it says the master of her forbidden pleasures.
Does it? Yeah. So I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, this has to be spicy.
Literally
So,
right underneath the title it says that.
and then I was like, we should probably do it for the pod.
This is
So
our
here we are.
PP word. Okay.
Our PP
The
word.
description is as follows. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, this one is on Spotify. It's not on Kindle Unlimited. There are sensuous pleasures that can only be tasted in the night. He comes to her in the twilight between sleep and consciousness to fulfill her secret desires. Lissa Bates has never experienced such ecstasy brought to her by a man whose deep, soul penetrating. That's not the only thing is penetrating. Okay.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay. Brought to her by a man whose deep, soul-penetrating blue eyes hold the promise of tempting intimacies and decadent pleasures. But this stranger, this lover, this immortal seducer is only a dream, a phantom of her nocturnal fantasies. Until he appears inexplicably at her door in the flesh. Lissa aches for the reality of him, but there is grave danger in surrender because Captain Aiden Cross is on a mission, and the passion that consumes them both, body and soul, could have dire consequences in a world of dreams and in the waking one as well.
Mm.
Okay, there's no content warnings on Storygraph. Are there content warnings at the beginning of the book since you probably can find that faster than I can?
No, I can't because I don't have the book anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I
This is
I used it as a blind book day for our book
oh,
fest
that's
stuff.
true. Okay.
So someone has it, and if you have it, you're more than welcome to open it up. I don't think it had
My
a
gosh. Yeah, let me look at
thing,
it.
but I can definitely tell you that sexual
Sexual
content is
content.
totally a trigger. I'm thinking of what else. What else happened in that book that could have been? I mean, nightmares.
Yeah, I would definitely put like nightmares and then like what's it called? Night terrors. Because I
Yeah.
think this lady did suffer from those.
I mean, there was some
Definitely
fighting,
has.
wasn't there?
Yes. So I might put a little bit of violence in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, sexual content, night terrors, nightmares, sexual content, a little bit of violence. I think that's pretty much it.
I think so. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, all I can think about. Yeah, so okay, story graph was useless. The only one that I wrote down in my book was sexual content with like an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
I did not realize that this book was an erotica until I went to review it on Storygraph and it says fiction erotica.
Yeah. So ratings, right? That thing.
Mhm.
Average rating on Storygraph is a 3.25, and the first one I pulled was actually a DNF. It says the writing here just wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't liking either of the characters or the storyline, so I will put it in the DNF pile and skip along to the next book. I'm a ridiculously monstrous TBR. Smiley face. And the 5 star I picked out is I couldn't put it down. Normally, I don't read this kind of book, but I really loved it. In the beginning, I didn't know what I was reading. It didn't make sense to me, but after reading a short explanation on how things worked, I understood exactly what was going on. I read all 318 pages within 4 days. The love between two people is just outstanding, aside from the sexual addiction. It reads very easily, and the author has such a fine style of writing. Goodreads, so 3.68 as an average rating. So 1 star says yawn. Just gonna get into it. Plot development seemed forced, and there were some parts I swear pages were missing entirely, or I just missed some vital bit of info earlier on. Won't try reading another of hers. And the 5 star, I am loving the series. Aiden starts out a bit of a man whore, but ultra sexy as well as strong warrior and leader. he is also very smart and asks questions. The Perfect Man, I love that Lissa is mostly just a normal woman. Even once she finds out she has unknown special powers, I find it funny how much sex this couple had in such a short time. It's amazing they got anything done. I definitely enjoyed this book. And then on Amazon, the average rating is a 4.2 out of 5. One star says there wasn't much of a plot, no character development, not even a remote twist in the book. Nothing but sex scenes over and over, and they weren't even that good. I think around 100 pages, I decided that it wasn't even worth time to finish. Save your money. And then 5 star, there are not many things that Sylvia Day writes that I have been disappointed in. This is a great story and I love the characters. My only complaint is there is so much to these words and so little time to be able to give it all the detail and justice it all deserves. Considering the amount of detail that was given, not too shabby, it was quite good and I would have liked to linger longer in the story. Smiley face.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. That's all that we have.
That's all she wrote.
That's what she. I walked right into that one, and I'm a little bit ashamed, but not quite. You know
Yeah.
what was that?
You heard it too?
Yes,
Oh my God. Could it be?
James.
James?
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
The main male character is Aiden, which is I did say his full title in the description. I already completely forgot what it was.
Beats me.
He beats me. I'm not. I was gonna look it up, but I don't want to. The female main character is Lissa, who is a vet. I know a little bit more about her than him at the very beginning because I didn't write much about him. I just wrote that she can't dream and she can't sleep.
I didn't really write anything about them about the beginning, except that, so to start off, not even talking about the story just at all. I started off by listening to this on Spotify because it came free
Yes.
with Spotify, and oh my God, was that atrocious.
See, I
Like,
didn't mind it. I didn't
I
like it,
minded it.
but I
I
didn't
minded it
mind it.
so much. I
Oh my
minded it
gosh.
so much. Like I started listening to it and I just cringed and I just did not like it. And the reason why, because I haven't even gotten to that part yet, is it's one lady, like no hate on her, but the way that the book, I guess, is broken up is it's like his point of view and her point of view.
Yes.
And when she switch over, so like she does like the voice for Lissa, and then she does a narrator voice, and then she does the voice for Aiden.
Shauna
Um,
Savage.
Shauna Savage.
Yes, Shauna Savage is her name, the narrator.
But when I first started listening to it, and mind you, I didn't know anything really about the book, but she started talking for his lines, and it was such a bad fake Irish accent. And I
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
like, it came out so icky, and like I had to stop because I just couldn't focus on it because I just couldn't stop thinking about how I didn't like the accent. And then it's later we find out that he's actually Scottish. Because the
I
thing I wrote
know.
was is Spotify fake Irish accent was icky and it came out Scottish sounding and it's like, well, no shit, Einstein. It's because she's trying to do a Scottish accent. And I'm sorry, honey, it did not hit. So that
I
bothered me.
did not know this guy was Scottish until way later.
I know. And
And
then
so like I wish that it would have mentioned it like first in the beginning of the book.
yes, because that would have made a little bit more sense, and I probably
It
wouldn't
would
have been
have.
as bothered by it. But
Yeah.
then the other thing is because I switched over to listen to it through Lexi Girl,
Mhm.
and the main character, her name's Lissa, but Lexi Girl kept pronouncing it as Lisa.
Oh my gosh.
So I had that, the whole time, and it kind of made it a little easier to read because I don't know if I could read a book where the main character is my name.
Really?
I don't
I've
know,
heard some
like
people like it, like especially in the Smuthood. That's a Facebook group.
yeah,
I know you know that, but like our audience may not know that.
yeah, no,
Anyways,
no,
all three of you guys.
all
Hi.
three.
No, but seriously, like, as people will get on there and like, I'm specifically looking for books where the FMC is named Nicole, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that because that would seem like fourth wall breaking to me, honestly.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't
Especially
know.
if it
I
was
wouldn't.
your name and your significant other's name.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
That's odd.
That's then I'm writing my
Like,
own love story like in real
I'm
life. I
not
don't need it on a
kink
book.
shaming. Yeah, I'm not kink shaming.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
personally, I would feel like, see, I already disassociate really bad. That would not help me. Okay, so Aiden is a dream guardian, and he's like, I don't know if these people were like randomly selected to be the guardians of these people's dreams, or if they were just kind of like, hey, you go over here, like specific. She doesn't know how to dream. and so she couldn't sleep. I'm just like, well, maybe it's because she's got like a sleeping problem, and like, didn't she say she was taking sleeping pills and they didn't work,
Yes.
or she didn't like them? I sense that she either didn't like them or they didn't work.
Yeah, something like, yeah, I think
But
they didn't work.
and then it was really sweet because he was like, well, let me just hold you because maybe that will help, and it did. And so he would return every night to help her dream.
Yes. And some other things.
And other things. Yeah, literally, he was like, "Oh, let me hold you and I'll help you learn how to dream." And then she's like, "Let's go on a beach."
And then they're
And
at the
then,
beach.
yeah, because like they were in a black room, they couldn't see each other, which I
Yep.
thought that was really really cute how they were like talking, but they couldn't see each other. And then she saw him and got scared, and then she made it dark again.
Mhm.
Oh, and then she was like, "Yeah, sorry, this is a long note." She gave him control of her dream, and he made a bedroom so they could have intercourse.
Honestly, I
Honestly.
mean, depending on who it is, I mean,
Yeah, because like they took up different faces, didn't they? Like depending on what the person dreaming wanted.
yes, but he used his real face
Yeah. I don't
with
think
her.
I don't think that he did that on purpose. Because the whole point was that they were looking for someone who was the key, and the key
Yeah.
would be able to see through their disguise. And so that wasn't on him because he didn't realize that until I think much later. No, like chapter 2 or chapter 3. I don't know. And if within the first 5 chapters, right, they realized like she could see him and not what he was meant to look like.
Well, even prior to even knowing what he looked like, I'm pretty sure because I think when she wakes up, she's supposed to forget what he looks like or forget it
Yes.
all. And she woke up and she literally drew him.
What is
Yeah,
your
he
next note?
I said the book started off pretty hot because it started off with Aiden banging one of the other women from his world.
Yeah.
And then I also said, and this is going to be a really weird note that pretty much has nothing to do with the storyline at all. Maybe like 2%, but not really. I hate wall clocks.
Expound.
So she was talking about how I think the sound of like wall clocks
Yes,
annoy
the
her at
ticking.
night because the ticking, yeah, I don't like that either.
Okay, no, I don't. That makes me nervous for some reason.
It does. It gives me anxiety. And I don't know. It's like the other thing is like I can't be in complete silence either. Like I have to have
Yeah.
some sort of noise. Hence why I sleep with a sound machine now every night. So I don't like wall clocks because mainly that makes me think of like when I used to go to bed at night, like when I was in high school and stuff, and then I
Mhm.
couldn't sleep, and I had a wall clock in my room that would just tick and tick and tick, and I was
Yeah.
just like, I can't take it anymore. So I took it off the wall, took the battery out, hung it back up, and then my mother
Yeah.
came into my room and put the battery back in.
Oh my gosh, she's like, how do you know what time it is in the middle of the night if you don't have a wall clock?
You can't even see in the middle of the night. It's
I know
dark.
exactly. That was the point.
Like,
It's
no,
dork.
it's dark. Yeah.
My next note is chapter 2, and there's already been multiple adult cuddles. Definitely an 18 plus book.
Oh yeah. I
If
mean,
you if you couldn't tell from the title.
if the cover alone didn't tell you that.
Oh my gosh, it's really not bad, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of her other covers?
I saw the one for the sequel, for
There's
this
a
book, but
sequel.
not the other. There is a sequel. I will look it up for you, but it looks pretty much the same as the first one, but it's red.
All right, I'm scrolling through her books. She has a lot, but a lot of her covers are exactly like that. Some of them are like 100 pages or less, so I may actually start reading some of these because I need to meet my goal for the end of the year, and it's not happening.
Her second book is called Heat of the Night. Well, second book in the series is Heat of the Night, and it's
Okay,
literally the same thing except it's a black book with red sheets on it, or
nice, nice,
like
nice.
wispy looking sheets. There's another one that's for this
Wispy.
series, but it's I don't think it's out yet because there's no cover on it. I have
Yeah, I
not
know, I
looked at
saw
her
that a
other.
second ago.
I really do like her covers for her other books though. Well,
She
not
has some really pretty covers. Some of them are like, but like the rest of them, I don't like the ones with actual people on them.
that's what I was just about to say.
If it's
Except
got
maybe
like
Blood and Roses. That one looks actually kind of nice.
if it's
But
got
like
like a half naked man on it,
I mean, we've done it
I ain't doing it.
before.
I ain't doing it. When?
We've done it before.
I know, but like against my will with me kicking and screaming.
You liked the book though.
I know, I know, I know. Shut up. We're not gonna talk about it.
I
We're
can't
not
think
gonna
off the
talk
top.
about it.
Listen, I can't think off the top of my head what book it was, but I know we did. Depending on what cover of Runaway Love, which we haven't gotten there yet, but
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
my
So my
next
next
note,
note. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't remember how far in the book it was, but I wrote friends equals will tell you that you look like,
Oh no.
but will also say you're a smoke show.
That's true.
That was her friend from the vet office. I think it was like the receptionist or
I
something.
think so, yeah.
And she was just like, she walks in after having a bad night of sleep, and she's just like, "You look like."
Oh no.
Hmm.
And then she's talking about how it's like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to go on a date because I'm really not attractive." And she's just like, gorgeous.
I know. She was like, yeah, you're like, you look like you crawled out of the trash, but get that bag.
Yeah.
So she's a vet. And then
Yep.
like a dog owner that took his dog to the vet who's a firefighter,
Wait,
by the way.
wait. Oh, you're talking about the firefighter with the dog. Sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about her pet because I thought you had a cat.
Yes. Yeah, she does have a cat because I remember her talking about how heavy it was at some point. I think.
Okay, go on.
Anyways, yeah. So like a firefighter asked her out. And don't they get engaged
No.
or something? I
No.
swear to you.
No? I don't think so.
Either
Unless I'm missing something.
I know they were together for a while. His name was Chad. I remember that.
Yeah, because I didn't like that name.
Okay, so Aiden uses sex to help dreamers. He can't perform anymore because they're not Lissa. So it said, I don't think she needed the sex aspect of it anymore because like she had Chad in real life, but I don't know if they were ever like intimate like that. But
No,
other
they were not.
guardians, yeah, other guardians were helping her like dream and stuff, and she got like really depressed because she wanted Aiden. I think she got worse because she couldn't sleep.
Yeah, genuinely, I don't remember that.
Because he kept getting in trouble. Like the council or whatever was like getting on him
That,
because like you're not supposed to see the same person over and over.
yeah,
Like
that I
you,
remember.
yeah, you see them once and you go on, and they're like you're becoming too attached to this one person. Oh, my next note is a quote. Her creamy depths.
Oh.
Yep, I wrote her creamy depths, and then afterwards I just put ugh.
Oh, I don't really like it.
Okay, so here we are. Her creamy depths or her slick caverns.
Oh,
I mean, two evils, right?
I think if I was gonna name my vagina, say the options again, I forget. It was creamy what?
Her creamy depth or her slick caverns.
I want to go with creamy depths.
You would honestly choose creamy depths over slick caverns.
Yeah, because cavern makes it sound like I'm a whore, because caverns are big. Makes it
It
sound like
makes me
my vagina's gone around.
it, it makes me feel like I'm gonna have spider webs in there because like caverns usually have spiders.
And like
So,
stalactites and stalagmites and like
oh
bats and
my
stuff.
gosh.
Like, no, I'd
I
rather
got
have
the
the depth.
tights and the mites up in here. Free.
That's the name of the episode, Tites and the Mites.
Tights and the mites. Oh my gosh. Okay, what's your next note? Got the
Um,
tights and the mites in here.
oh, I hate that her cat's name is Jellybean. I
Oh, I
really
hit
don't
my
like
elbow.
I don't like the name Jellybean for a cat.
I did not remember that. That did not make it into my notes. So I
No,
must not
because
have
like
listened that part.
she mentioned it like at the very beginning, but then she would call her cat JB. And every time that
Oh,
happened, when she would call her cat JB, I kept thinking Justin Bieber.
oh my gosh.
So I'm like, why is she referring to Justin Bieber? And then I'm like, no, that's her cat. Her cat's name is JB. And then
Justin
I
Bieber is her One Direction.
yes, R.I.P. Liam Payne. Yeah, no, I don't like the name Jellybean for a cat. Like Jellybean would be a cute kind of nickname, maybe, but like
Yeah.
as a name for a cat, no. Also, another small note that I have is I don't like velour jogging suits. They're kind of gross to me.
Don't like what?
Velour jogging suits. Do you know what those are? Do you know
I'm
what I'm talking
looking.
about?
No.
They're like those exercise outfits that those white moms wear.
Oh, so like every like rich mom that holds a Starbucks. Oh, there's a pink one. What is that giving?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, that's what it is. Yes. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I don't like them. That's
No,
what
I've like,
the reason why I wrote that down is because her mom like showed up wearing that, and I'm like, oh,
oh my gosh. Yeah, I must have missed that. I guess because like I was too busy listening to the smut and the Scottish accent.
oh yeah, no, yeah. I was remembering the little details, but I couldn't focus on like that main storyline. I think one
Yeah.
thing that was also a problem for me though is that like there really wasn't any kind of world building in a sense because I kept getting confused as to exactly what was going on in like the dream world. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
like
because
I
she doesn't
understand.
dream. She
Well,
sees
yeah,
nothing.
I mean in Aiden's world,
Oh, okay, yeah,
you
that
know,
I was like, imagine, you know Hercules, and it's like all the gods are in the clouds.
yeah,
That's what I imagined.
that's not what I
Like,
imagined.
like just the cloud castle.
I imagine something completely different. I mean, I kind of imagined like a castle. You've watched Divergent and you know the Dauntless headquarters. That's kind of what I was envisioning, like not really like that. Darkness in terms of like the surrounding area. You
Yeah.
know, I'm picturing more like castle kind of vibe, but like
Mhm.
dark, like stone walls and stuff like that. And I don't know why Dauntless came into mind.
I'm over here thinking like Care Bear and like heroes from Hercules, and you're like a hole in the ground.
Pretty much.
They have to jump
Yeah.
off a building into the hole in the ground.
Well, no, I didn't have to jump off a building into a hole in the ground. But
See, I
like,
think I imagine that more as like the gateway, because you remember Aiden got in trouble for visiting Lissa, and so he got sent to the gateway.
yeah.
Which I don't know exactly what that was. I think it was like pretty much like the battlefront to fight the demons or whatever, the nightmares, whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah, he got sent there because they're like, she might be the key. You need to take care of it. You're also in trouble because you went and visited her when you weren't supposed to.
Yeah. Dude, they were like, okay, so you're grounded for 2 weeks. You're gonna go to this place and you're gonna fight really hard and you might die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And then, like, immediately, as soon as he gets back, he went right back to Lissa and then they started having intercourse. Like, immediately.
Can I do a hot take?
Yeah.
I thought the smut scenes were kind of boring.
Really?
A little bit. Like, I
Oh
couldn't
my
keep my,
gosh.
I couldn't keep focus.
It's because of Clippy, isn't it?
You know?
Like after you read Clippy and then like double stuffed, now you're just kind of like everything's so like vanilla.
And the Tetris blocks.
Oh my gosh,
Yo.
taken by Tetris.
Ah, and the doorknob. Like,
Oh.
no, I don't know what it was. Like, it just, and it might just be because from the very beginning, just because of the Spotify version of the audiobook, I was just so turned off by it. I didn't really like them. Like, there was some
Hmm.
stuff that was like,
Yeah.
definitely wasn't vanilla, but like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't like it.
So it was more like strawberry. It wasn't necessarily like chocolate, but it wasn't a vanilla. So it was like strawberry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some strawberry stuff in there,
There's some strawberry stuff in there.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
next two
That's a
quotes.
good analogy.
That's wrong. The I say quotes. My next well, shut up. My next two comments are quotes and they kind of go hand in hand, so I'm gonna have to do one after the other.
Okay.
In the boning scene, because I'm gonna say that on 12, he says, "That's right." And so that's in quotations. So the next part I wrote, "That's right, Lassie, it would have been better," because he's Scottish. Just imagine like you're going at it and this guy's just like, "That's right, Lassie." I'd be dead. I would simply pass away.
Oh, you're just giving him ideas.
That's right, Lassie. Take it like
Jeez.
them goats. I don't know. And then my next quote is purring heated sex words. And then in all caps, I wrote dead.
Hurry heated sex words?
He's purring heated, like purring like a cat.
Oh.
Heated sex words.
Oh.
So he's just like, what is it? Like, brow, hot. Like,
Listening to it, because like how Lexigirl does that thing where like sometimes with she reads you books, she doesn't give you like chapter names. Not
oh my
chapter names, chapter
gosh.
numbers. So like it
Yes.
just keeps going. Well, because she did that, and also because this is in third person, and because the
Oh.
POVs keep changing, I kept getting confused as to who was talking and what was going on. So that's another reason why this kind of wasn't my thing. I probably would have been better if I actually read the book, but I just don't have time to sit down and read.
Dude, I feel that. No, I was gonna say you could have actually just like listened to the Spotify version, but I know that that Irish accent was getting on your last nerve.
Oh, do you know how long it took me to read this book?
I remember this one took you a while, probably the longest one
I
this year.
started it actually it's not. I started it in April and I don't think I finished it until July or
Oh
August.
my gosh.
Yeah, so it took me a while because most like for the most part, like I started reading it and then I just put it down and I just didn't pick it back up and then till like later and I ended up
Oh
trying
my
to read it
goodness.
again and it
Yeah.
just and that might be another reason why like the stuff doesn't make sense to me because I started it and then I stopped and then I started it again.
You
But it's
didn't
not
like
my longest.
restart.
No.
You just picked up where you left off. Oh my
There's no
gosh, that's
time
a
to,
sin.
there's no time to
Oh,
restart
that's
a
true.
book.
That's true.
No,
That's true. That's
I
true.
do have a book that's longer than that though. I actually started on January 1st and I
Oh
still
no.
haven't finished it.
Are you talking about Lord of the Rings?
No, started that too and I still didn't finish that one either.
What's the one that you're talking about?
It's this book called Hooked on You, which I think I'm gonna like it. It's just I started reading it on the plane when I was traveling earlier in the year,
Mhm.
and then this lady, she started talking to me She's apparently a
Oh, the
publisher.
publicist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she was like, "What are you reading?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading this book. It's about this." And she's just like, "Oh, I'm a publisher." So like I was just curious and I'm just like, "Girl, let's talk." And so she was talking to me and she said she was the publisher for
Hmm.
who was it? She said I think she said Haunting Adeline.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
That and Cat Blackthorn. And I was just like, "Girl, we did her books."
We did Cat Blackthorn, yes. Well, we
And
didn't
then I
do her,
was
but we did her books.
no, we didn't do her, but we did read her books.
But I mean, if she's ever open.
I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
maybe.
My
No.
gosh.
I was telling her about it and I was like, oh my God, like I really love this book, but like the Wolf would have been my favorite if it was better. And she was like telling me all about like her writing stuff and all that. Then what was the other thing? And then when I was telling her about the ABC challenge and what we were doing so far, because we hadn't started it, I think, officially yet.
Hmm.
Or we literally had just started it. We were talking like it was really nice talking to her, but I was in the middle of reading that book during that time, and I probably would have finished it around that time, but stuff happened, and then I was like, well, I got to put this down because it's not on the ABC challenge list because I got to read the ABC books. Yeah, so that's why that book is still there. My goal is actually to finish it on December 31st because I feel like that would be funny.
If you spent a whole year reading a one book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so I guess this would probably be jumping ahead.
I'm to
Um,
the part, my next note is about him traveling to her realm.
Mine's about her not remembering him.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, my next one
So,
is like he traveled to her realm. She didn't recognize him, but did at the same time. They
yes.
blinked and he stayed with her. She still didn't really remember him though.
Yeah, I wrote, and this is in quotes, but it's a paraphrased quote. I don't remember him. Why did I boink him? I
Yeah,
don't regret it, but I shouldn't have done it.
me, no. I
That's
love
like
how we're like using all the 12-year-old words for this.
some of it I haven't, and I'm pretty sure this is your turn to edit, so I'm
It's my turn to
sorry.
edit. So every time you cuss, I'm just kind of like, well, there goes another 5 minutes of my life.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. She was dating Chad at this time.
Yeah, she was.
And so she cheated on him.
She did.
Oh my gosh. I love how tentative and sweet he is to her. Like making food, making coffee, buckled her into her car. And then he was like, yeah, so like, I love you. So like, what do we? You're gonna have to break up with that other guy. And so
Yeah.
she was like, bet. And went and broke up with Chad, which is, I completely forgot about Chad.
Yeah. They didn't really talk about him that much.
I think
Like
that
there
was the
wasn't
point,
any
was he's like
detail. I
easily
mean,
forgettable.
yeah, but like there still wasn't that many details though about their relationship. You know, you'd think you would have done like a little bit of something.
Story, yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I was listening to. I don't remember, but something similar, I guess. I don't know. Never mind. Ignore me.
I usually do. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair.
Oh no. Okay. My next note, it's like it's a short one. How many
Okay.
notes do you have left? One, two, three, four.
3 before my final thoughts.
I have like four. I have technically have five, but number five is just like happily ever after. So it's pretty much a note. Anyway, so I have like four.
Okay.
So let me do this one, and then we'll start swapping. You
Okay.
one, me one. Okay. So basically, this book is 90% and 10% story. I'm not complaining though.
If I liked the smut, I probably would into either, but I think I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, I need a little bit more story.
Mhm.
Um, I wish there was, like I said, if there was more world building on Aiden's side of everything, where I understood like the logistics of the world, like who he is and what his world is like and what they're doing. Because, you know, they're talking about a key and they need a key for something, but I don't really think they delved into like
The only thing
what
that
it
I
is.
knew that
Like
he did was it
what's the
freed
key
them.
for? And
Yeah,
what free from what? You know, like there's all these questions that were like left. And
exactly.
I'm like, I'm confused. And it's not, I know there's a sequel to this book, but it's not enticing me to read it because I don't understand what's going on in the storyline of it. I just know
What would
that they
what
blinked
would
and
the
that's it.
ending be sequel?
I can
Like
look
I
that up
guess
real
like
quick.
life. Yeah, look that up because I just want to know. Like, is it like life after this? This is not a no, but it's something I just thought about in the book, especially when he goes to the gateway for like 2 weeks. It does not explain like what she's doing that time. It
Yes, it
literally was
doesn't.
just like she couldn't sleep, so these other guardians were trying to help her. Like 2 weeks later.
It's basically about there was a girl named Stacy in the book, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be Stacy.
Okay, so it's gonna be kind of like the Knock 'em Out series,
Yeah, I
where it's
guess.
about the same group, just different couples.
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be a storyline like that where it's like you could
Oh,
technically
definitely not.
probably read the Knock 'em Out series out of order, but it makes more sense to read it in order because of because
Timeline.
each book has its own story, but the entire series is its own story.
Exactly.
So I don't know, it might be like that. I
Mhm.
just read that it was Stacy and then the other shadow dude,
Mhm.
Connor. So it's gonna be their love story.
That is
Spoiler.
such a Scottish name. I'm not gonna lie.
Connor with one N.
That's. Oh, you mean Connoir?
Connor.
Canoe. The connoisseur canoe.
Connoisseur.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said.
Oh, it cut out.
Oh, that's not what I said at all, so it's probably
Oh,
why. He told her the truth. She was gonna pepper spray him. Chad knocked on the door. He was under control by the Guardians, and so like he attacked them.
yes.
And then she kept like calling him an alien. And I don't know if that was like going to be a part of the sequel. Because she was just like, someone's taking control of his body. He's an alien. And I'm just like, I don't think he's an alien.
I was gonna say, you know what it's giving? And I was gonna. Oh, yeah. No, never mind. It's giving something that I read earlier this year. I just don't remember if we read it or if I read it.
Oh my gosh. It's on the ABC Challenge or just a personal?
I'm trying to figure that out. I was gonna say my AI, but there was no like mind control like that.
No.
Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news tonight at 9. We've got two idiots on the microphone. With Bibliophiles Audiophiles News, I'm James. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
We were talking about Chad and how Chad got beaten up. You know, it's probably reminding me of that scene in my AI where
It was
what's
like the
his face?
Spider-Man.
What's his face? Remy fought
Yeah.
off the guy that looks like the mayor of Lazytown.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I don't
You
know
know,
anything until you say the mayor of Lazy Town.
but you
And
know
I'm
what I
just like, I
mean?
got it. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I think it's reminding me of that scene.
And so it's like the Spider-Man scene where they're just, staring at each other.
Yeah. Well, no, not that one. I'm talking about
No, no,
like,
I'm talking about
when
like,
the
oh, yeah.
when the mayor of Lazytown dude and he's like going to attack Azzy and then Remy's just like no and then he, protects her.
Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of Chad being taken over.
Taken by the Tetris block. Sorry, every time you say like certain key phrase, it reminds me of just the off-the-wall books that you've read in the past.
Oh, there's so many. We gotta read Taken by the Tetris Block. We can do a whole entire episode on that entire series.
Oh my gosh. Like
I
the
read
dinosaurs.
I read two of those books in one plane ride. And mind you, the plane ride
Gosh.
was maybe like an hour, maybe 2 hours tops.
Oh my goodness. That's not very long at all.
No. Anyways,
Oh yeah,
my
back
note,
back back
my
on track,
note,
back on track.
yeah, my note. I don't know, I guess they boinked. Uh,
Always. That's always what they're doing.
right? I wouldn't have let him follow me unclothed. I don't
You
know.
wouldn't have let him what you?
I wouldn't let him follow me in the nude. Like me fully clothed and him.
Where is he following you?
I don't know. I wrote that note and I don't remember what it's about. Mind you,
I'm so confused.
he followed her somewhere, probably like to
Yeah.
the front door or something, and they just boinked. And she put on her clothes, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm gonna let it hang dry or something." I don't know.
Um,
Like, I don't
I'm gonna
know.
let it hang
That
dry. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what this is about. I just
Oh my
wrote
Lord.
that.
I love your notes because they're like, me, I'll write like 4 lines of backstory just to get to the punchline. And you're just like, is he air drying? Oh my
No.
goodness.
Because my thing is like I'm like my idea is like I'll do little note because I'll
Mhm,
remind myself a little note and I'll have each page of my notebook is going to be one book, maybe two, depending on how good the book is or how many things I have to say about it. That's why they're only just little bit of notes that aren't like
mhm.
full sentences unless it's an actual quote. But then I get stuff like this and I'm like, I don't know what this means.
I love that. Okay, I have one more note.
Looked at my last two notes and they're basically the same and I've already talked about them already. It's about a
Oh my gosh.
story isn't built up enough and the no world building which is essential for fantasy unless like I missed it.
It
Which
doesn't.
this kind of is fantasy, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I would not like to me world building, well building
Yeah,
is important, but like not super important to me because again, in Fantasia, I can't see in my brain. So
that's
like
fair.
this book was really good for me because it's my and I like the storyline of being like, I'm a guardian of her dreams. I keep the nightmares away. We're looking for a key. Like it was like the fantasy aspect of it.
Oh
But
yeah,
like
no,
I
I
didn't
love that.
mind. Yeah,
I
I
liked
didn't
that.
mind the no world building.
I think I needed more
More.
explanation. I needed
Mhm.
more on the story side of it, and I didn't get that.
Maybe that's why you should read the prequel, the sequel. You know,
I mean, maybe, but I have other things I need to read.
one
I
of the
got
fuels.
I got two library books out right now that I got to finish within the next week.
Oh, it's like what, 21 days?
14
14. Which one are you using?
library
Hoopla?
books?
Yeah, Hoopla or
Libby.
Libby? Okay. Yeah, I haven't borrowed anything yet. I'm lame.
I picked two books from my bookshelf. Actually three. No, I had like a couple on hold. I had to put them all on hold because they weren't available yet.
For the blind
And
date.
well, they were supposed to be, but I didn't get to read them in time. I'm kind of glad because one of the books that I read that I was planning on putting in a blind date, I actually
Mhm.
really liked, so I decided to keep the book. The one I'm on right now is okay. It's not fantastic. Probably it's in decent condition. There's like a crack in the middle of the spine. I mean the cover
Yeah.
though. So I don't know if I don't want to use it for a blind book date.
Because it's not like pristine. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also like marker on the bottom of it for
Oh,
some
yeah, that
reason.
sucks.
Like otherwise it's in really good condition, but
Yeah.
it's not hitting and it's I guess I
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
that would do like better on Pango because you can take pictures of it and show the flaws and like
I,
price it accordingly.
I'd rather drop it off at like Second and Charles and get it for 25 cents. Because
Okay,
honestly,
dude, I gave a tote full of books and I got $3. They're gonna give you like a penny and tell you to have a good day.
probably.
Like, I don't think I will ever, like, I'm not trying to diss on Second Charles, but like, we went up there. I think you had a box and I had a tote of books, and they took over half of my books, like all the ones that were perfect condition, and then gave me like what, 375?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I had spent way more on all those books, and I was really mad, so I don't think I'll ever go back. I
Yeah, it's fair. I spent 50 bucks on this book. I'm 50 bucks, 50 cents on this book, so I
was
won't be
gonna
too
say 50
mad.
bucks. Good Lord.
No, I spent 50 cents on this one. I actually had a second copy that I ended up giving to Second and Charles to get rid of.
Mhm.
Anyways, what's your rating?
I'm not doing my notes actually,
Oh,
and
you're
that's
not? Then okay.
incredibly rude of you to assume so.
I thought you were. So, sorry.
He went back to his realm, and she said, "Me too, dog." And so they had to fight the cancel. Can't they had to fight the cancel? They had to fight the council to stay together. But this book did end in a happily ever after. I thought that was really sweet.
I don't even remember the end of the book, to be honest.
Girl, get out of here.
Girl, there's a window right next to me. I can jump at it.
Ooh,
I'll hit
it
the
opens
tin
very
roof, but you
easy.
know.
The tin roof. I gave it a 4.25 because I didn't want to give it a 4 because I liked it more than a 4, but I didn't want to give it a 5 because it wasn't quite the 5 yet. But my buzzwords are smut, dream world, distance, and reunited because they were reunited at the end, and I thought that was like a really sweet aspect to the book.
Hi. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't really like it.
Brutal.
I know, but it just wasn't it for me.
Oh my god, it wasn't your cup of tea. I mean, that happens, honestly. We're
It does.
reading
It does.
hundreds of books.
I feel bad, but I'm like, it just. Anyways, my comments are better if there was world building, more sex than story, and couldn't focus on it.
No, I get that because it was kind of hard to like get into it, but then like I was sad.
That was my problem. That's my problem with like a lot of books and TV
Mhm.
shows and movies sometimes. Like I get really bored really easy from the beginning if it doesn't like put
Slap
me
right
in a
off the bat.
chokehold. You
Yeah.
know, this just didn't do it for me.
So, well, no, I was gonna say welcome back. Thank you. I don't feel good. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bibliophiles, Audiophiles. If you need to reach us, don't.
Don't. Okay.
Don't. If you
Don't
need
you
to reach us.
forget about me.
Don't forget about our email is biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. Trina Van
Yeah.
Hoff does not need to be the only person that uses it. So
Yeah.
like send us an email. No, I
Um,
get so excited when we get an email from her.
I get excited when we get emails from anybody, to be honest.
Literally, it's like a TikTok ad. We're just like, oh, traction.
Oh, people. You know, our Instagram too. Yep. At Biblio Audio Podcast. And you know what?
What?
Trina also doesn't need to be the only one liking all of our posts. I mean, I
Okay,
like them too, though.
this
But
may seem like we're ragging on her, but I swear we're not.
no, we love her.
Between her and your boyfriend, they make up like 2/3 of our fan base.
They really do. Who's the third? It's
Um,
probably me.
I was gonna say it's probably Caller Swafford, but no, it's probably you.
It's probably me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, but it's still, honestly, we appreciate every single one of you guys that listens to our stupid antics.
Whether you listen all the time or you listen to select episodes, yeah, we do love you.
Oh, that was pretty
We
mushy.
just love the people who watch all of our episodes a little bit more.
I know, yeah, like they're getting a Christmas card for sure.
Yes.
What is our website?
Biblioaudiopod.com.
Also, I wanted to plug, they are wanting us to promote Summiton a little bit more because like we don't really promote it until we have like the date like set in stone. But they
Yeah.
have went ahead and announced that they're going to do Summiton. Well, it may not be called Summiton anymore. It's going to be the book festival, but it's probably going to be moving locations every year. But it is always going to be the second Saturday of October, always, indefinitely. So as soon as we get like place and in time narrowed down, which is it'll probably be the same 9 to 4, but like whenever we get everything narrowed down, we'll definitely start promoting that more, like on Instagram and here. But yeah, no, so the second Saturday in October,
Which I
don't go to any wedding.
believe is October 11th.
Okay, thank you for joining us on this episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.